The listening post floated in the cold darkness between stars. It was small compared to the massive fleets humanity now built, but its job was important. Day after day, its crew listened to the silent void, waiting for something unusual. Most of the time, the screens only showed background noise from distant suns and gas clouds. But this day was different. The signal appeared without warning. At first, it was just a faint pulse, like a heartbeat echoing across the void. The machines picked it up, recorded it, and sent it to the nearest human fleet command. There, analysts looked at it and quickly realized it was not natural. It carried patterns, shapes, and repeating codes. It was intelligent. Commander Ryan stood on the bridge of the battleship Valiant when the report reached him. The crew was busy with routine drills, but the mood changed the moment the message arrived. Ryan's eyes narrowed as he read the details on the screen. Humanity had waited for this day for decades. Rumors of alien life had always existed, but now they had proof. Set course to the signal's origin, Ryan ordered in a calm but firm voice. The bridge crew moved quickly. Officer Maya, who handled navigation, entered new coordinates into the ship's systems. Pilot Tom confirmed the route. Engineer Helen checked the engines, making sure the ship could handle a fast jump. Within minutes, the Valiant was turning toward the uncharted system. The ship itself was a giant of human engineering. Its armored hull stretched like a fortress in space, bristling with weapons that could split asteroids. But to Ryan, it was more than metal and power. It was the shield of humanity, a guardian that stood ready to face the unknown. As the jump engines roared to life, Ryan spoke quietly to his second-in-command, Lewis. "What do you think it is?" Ryan asked. Lewis shook his head. "Could be anything. Maybe a new civilization. Maybe just an old beacon left behind. But if it is alive, then we are about to meet them." Ryan nodded. "We must be ready for both peace and war." The crew felt the weight of those words. Humanity was strong now, stronger than ever before. They had spread to dozens of worlds, built fleets, and fought wars among themselves. But never had they faced another intelligent race. During the jump, the crew gathered in the mess hall. Conversations were low, but excitement filled the air. Tom leaned forward, speaking to Maya. "If this is real, if we meet them, what do you think they will look like?" Maya smiled faintly. "I don't know. Maybe tall, maybe short. Maybe they don't even breathe air like us. But no matter what they are, they sent that signal. That means they want to be found." Helen, the engineer, looked more cautious. "Or it means they don't care who finds them. What if it's a warning?" The mess hall grew quiet after that. Every crew member thought about the same thing. What if this was not a call for peace but a trap? Back on the bridge, alarms sounded as the Valiant exited the jump. The crew quickly returned to their stations. Ahead of them stretched a wide star system, its sun glowing faint yellow. Several planets orbited, but it was the fourth planet that drew attention. Orbiting near it were shapes. "Contact," Maya announced. "Multiple unknown vessels detected." On the main screen, alien ships appeared. They were unlike anything human eyes had seen before. Long, sharp forms, glowing with blue energy. They moved with strange precision, as if guided by a single will. The bridge grew silent as the crew stared at the sight. Ryan rose from his chair, standing tall. "Open records. This is first contact." Every word, every image was recorded by the ship's systems. History was unfolding. The alien ships did not move at first. They seemed to study the Valiant, just as humans were studying them. Then, slowly, the alien formation shifted. The ships came together, creating a wall between the planet and the human battleship. It was a clear sign. The aliens were defending their world. Lewis looked at Ryan with concern. "They see us as intruders." Ryan kept his eyes on the screen. Maybe. Or maybe they fear us. Either way, we must tread carefully. The crew felt the tension rise. This was not just a meeting. This was a test. One wrong move could decide the future of humanity. Attempt to open communication, Ryan ordered. Maya began working at her console, sending signals across multiple channels. Patterns, tones, and messages were transmitted, hoping the aliens could understand. For several long minutes, there was no reply. Only silence. Then, at last, the alien ships responded. A pulse of sound and light echoed across the void. The computers worked to decode it, but even before translation was ready, the crew understood the meaning. The aliens had noticed them. The aliens had answered. Ryan's voice was steady, but his heart raced. This is it. Humanity has spoken to the stars, and the stars have spoken back. The crew of the Valiant looked around the bridge. None of them would ever forget this moment. Whatever came next, history had already changed. The first signal had been found. The first words had been exchanged. And for the first time, humanity stood face to face with another intelligent race. The alien signal had already shaken the crew of the Valiant, but the sight of real alien ships filled them with both awe and fear. On the wide screen of the bridge, the strange vessels moved in the blackness of space like living shadows. Their long frames glowed faintly with blue light, and each one carried a sense of silent power. Commander Ryan stood with his arms behind his back, eyes fixed on the formation. His heart was steady, but his mind raced with questions. Who were they? What did they want? Would this end in peace, or would it begin with fire? Maya spoke first, her voice calm but firm. We count 6 vessels, Commander. Their sizes vary. 2 appear larger, perhaps they're command ships. The others form a defensive line. Lewis leaned forward, studying the patterns. They are protecting the planet. They see us as a threat already. Ryan nodded slowly. Or they are preparing for the unknown. We must not assume. The crew worked quietly. Scanners gathered details. The alien ships were built with smooth curves instead of sharp angles, and their movement was so exact that it seemed almost like a dance. No ship drifted out of place. No ship broke formation. To Tom, who guided the Valiant through dangerous zones before, this sight was unsettling. They move too perfectly, Tom whispered. It is as if they breathe together. Helen adjusted her display, studying energy readings. Their power output is high. I see weapon signatures building. They are ready for battle. The tension thickened on the bridge. This was not a welcome. It was a test of will. Ryan kept his voice steady. Open a channel. Let us try to speak before weapons decide our fate. Maya sent another series of signals, this time more direct, more deliberate. The translator system worked in the background, struggling to make sense of alien pulses and tones. Minutes passed. The crew watched the screen, waiting. Then it came. The first image of an alien filled the display. Gasps moved across the bridge. The being that appeared was tall, with a long face and deep-set eyes that glowed faint silver. Its skin was smooth, marked with faint lines that shifted like flowing water. The alien wore armor that shimmered like crystal, and when it spoke, its voice was a low vibration that seemed to hum in the bones. The translator tried to keep up, words forming in broken but clear English. You are not welcome. Leave this system. The crew exchanged uneasy looks. This was no warm greeting. Ryan stepped closer to the screen, his expression calm. This is Commander Ryan of the human battleship Valiant. We mean no harm. We detected your signal and came in peace. This is humanity's first meeting with your people. The alien's glowing eyes narrowed. The translator spoke again. We did not invite. You are intruders. Your presence is danger. Leave now. Lewis leaned toward Ryan, whispering so the channel would not hear. They are hostile already. We should prepare. But Ryan lifted a hand, keeping him silent. He faced the alien again. We do not come as enemies. We come to learn. We respect your world and your people. Let us speak, not fight. The alien said nothing at first. The silence stretched, and every crew member felt the weight of it. Then the alien raised a hand, and the image flickered away. On the main screen, the alien ships shifted again. Their weapons lit up. Helen's console rang with alarms. Weapon locks detected. They are aiming at us. Tom's hands tightened on the controls. Commander, what do we do? Ryan's voice remained calm, though the pressure around him grew heavy. Hold position. Do not fire unless I order it. We will not be the first to strike. The crew obeyed, though unease filled every heart. The alien ships drew closer, their glowing energy brighter with each passing moment. The bridge lights flickered as the Valiant's shields rose to full power. The sound of the engines deepened, ready for action. Lewis muttered under his breath. They are testing us. Ryan answered, his eyes never leaving the enemy formation. Then let us show them what it means to test humanity. Another message appeared, this one harsher, more broken through the translator. You will leave. Or you will be destroyed. The crew felt a chill at those words. For decades, humans had dreamed of meeting aliens. Some dreamed of friendship, others of trade and shared knowledge. But here, at the edge of an unknown system, the truth was sharper. The first meeting might not be with open hands, but with drawn weapons. Maya looked at Ryan, her voice low but steady. They do not want peace. Ryan's jaw tightened. Maybe not. But we will give them a chance. The alien ships spread wider now, forming a wall across the planet. Energy built in their weapons, and the Valiant's sensors screamed warnings. One spark, one mistake, and battle would begin. Ryan stood tall, every crew member watching him for guidance. His decision in this moment could decide the path of humanity's future. Send another message, he ordered at last. One final chance. Tell them humanity seeks peace. But if they fire upon us, we will defend ourselves. Maya transmitted the message, her hands moving quickly. For long moments, there was only silence. Then the alien ships answered, not with words, but with a sudden burst of light. Their weapons were charging. The crew of the Valiant braced themselves. The first shot of the first contact was about to be fired. The bridge of the Valiant was silent except for the steady hum of the ship's systems. Everyone waited as the alien fleet prepared its weapons. Blue lights shimmered across their hulls, glowing brighter with each passing second. For many of the crew, this was not how they imagined first contact. Instead of peaceful words, they were staring at the edge of battle. Ryan kept his eyes on the screen. His voice was calm, though he felt the weight of history pressing down on him. Open the channel again, he said firmly. Maya's fingers moved across her console. The signal was sent. A moment later, the image of the alien leader appeared once more. The tall figure with silver eyes stood still, expression unreadable. The translator worked, turning strange vibrations into words. You remain, the alien said. You ignore our command. Leave now, or face our fire. Ryan straightened his shoulders and spoke with measured tone. We are not here to invade. We are not here to harm. We came because we heard your signal. Humanity only seeks to understand who you are and to learn from you. We ask for peace. For a brief moment, there was hope. The alien's silver eyes shifted slightly, as if studying him. But then its voice returned, colder than before. Your machines are armed. Your ship is made for war. You speak of peace, but you bring weapons. This is not peace. This is a threat. Lewis muttered under his breath, they do not want to listen. Ryan ignored the comment and tried again. Our ship is a battleship, yes. But we did not come to fire on you. We came prepared only to defend ourselves. Humanity has fought wars, but we have also built alliances. We can share knowledge. We can trade. This does not need to be war. The aliens' response was sharp. Your kind spreads. Your kind consumes. We have seen worlds that rise and burn because of hunger for more. We will not allow you to come closer. This system is ours. Leave. The crew looked uneasy. The words were clear. These aliens did not see humanity as equals. They saw them as danger. Maya glanced at Ryan, her voice quiet. They will not accept peace. Ryan's jaw tightened, but he did not give up. Ask them their name, he said at last. Maya adjusted the channel. Ryan spoke again. We have given you our name. We are humans. We are from the planet Earth. Who are you? The alien leader's expression darkened. Names mean nothing. Strength decides truth. You will leave, or strength will decide. The channel closed suddenly. The image vanished. Only the alien ships remained on the screen, their weapons glowing brighter. The silence on the bridge was heavy. Every crew member felt the same truth. Talks had failed. They do not want to talk anymore, Helen said, her voice low. Lewis turned toward Ryan. Commander, we must be ready. They will fire. Ryan closed his eyes for a moment, steadying his thoughts. He had hoped for more. He had hoped humanity's first meeting with another race would not end this way. But reality was clear. They gave us their answer, Ryan said. Prepare shields. Bring weapons online, but do not fire until they do. The crew moved quickly. Energy surged through the battleship. Railguns rotated, missile tubes unlocked, and shield generators roared to full strength. The Valiant became a fortress, silent but waiting. On the main screen, the alien fleet shifted again. The two largest ships moved forward, while the smaller ones spread wide. They were closing the trap. Tom's hands hovered over the flight controls. Commander, they are surrounding us. Hold position, Ryan ordered. Let them make the choice. Seconds passed like hours. Every heartbeat felt louder than the last. The alien ships glowed brighter, their weapons nearly ready to fire. Then the first warning came. A thin beam of blue energy shot across space, not at the Valiant, but near it, grazing the shields. It was a warning shot, a final demand. Message received, Maya said softly. Ryan stood firm. Transmit again. Tell them clearly. If they fire upon us, we will defend ourselves. But the choice is theirs. The message was sent. The alien fleet gave no reply. Instead, their weapons burned even brighter. Helen looked at her display. Their main cannons are charging. Lewis's voice was grim. It is happening. Ryan's voice carried across the bridge, calm and steady. All hands, battle stations. This is humanity's first war in the stars. We will not start it, but we will not fall. The crew braced themselves. The air was heavy, charged with tension. Then, without warning, the alien fleet fired. Blue beams and bursts of energy cut across the void, slamming into the Valiant's shields. The ship shook, alarms blaring, but the shields held. Sparks flashed across consoles, but no hull was breached. Gasps filled the bridge. The power of the alien weapons was real, but the Valiant stood strong. Lewis clenched his fists. They fired first. Ryan's eyes hardened. Then humanity will answer. The crew knew what came next. The first talks with aliens had failed. Peace had been offered, but rejected. Now the stars themselves would witness the fire of humanity's first battleship. The alien fleet's weapons lit up the darkness like lightning storms in space. Blue beams struck against the shields of the Valiant, each impact sending a tremor through the massive ship. Sparks flickered across the bridge, but the crew held steady. The alarms screamed, yet the armored vessel stood strong. Humanity's finest creation was being tested by a new enemy. Commander Ryan gripped the armrest of his chair, his voice steady over the chaos. Report. Helen checked her readings quickly. Shields holding at 92%. Their weapons are strong, but not enough to pierce us yet. Lewis exhaled in relief. Good. They underestimated us. Another barrage hit. The ship shook again, but this time the crew braced without panic. They knew their ship, and they trusted it. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Fire a warning shot. One railgun round. Target the closest alien cruiser. Show them what humanity can do. Tom adjusted the ship's aim, his hands steady even as the pressure mounted. Target locked. Ryan gave the order. Fire. The sound of the railgun was deep, a roar that echoed through the ship as metal accelerated to incredible speed. A streak of light flashed across space, striking the alien cruiser with pinpoint precision. The enemy ship's shields flared brightly, trying to resist, but the sheer power of the shot tore through. The alien vessel shuddered, its engines sparking, before spinning helplessly out of formation. The bridge of the Valiant filled with stunned silence. For the first time, they had seen alien metal break under human fire. Maya whispered, almost to herself, "One shot." Helen nodded, wide-eyed. One shot, and it crippled them. On the main screen, the alien fleet wavered. Their perfect formation broke as ships shifted in panic. They had expected a weak intruder, but what they faced was something far greater. Lewis leaned toward Ryan. They are shocked. They did not expect us to hit that hard. Ryan's expression remained calm, but his eyes were sharp. Good. Let them know this is not a race to underestimate. The aliens answered quickly. The remaining ships regrouped, their weapons glowing brighter, gathering for another wave of fire. This time, they struck with full force. Multiple beams converged on the Valiant, shaking it harder than before. The shields dropped slightly, down to 80%, but still held strong. Tom gritted his teeth. They are desperate now. Ryan lifted his hand. Fire 2 railgun rounds. Disable another ship. The cannons roared again, sending twin projectiles across the void. Another alien ship staggered as the shots tore into its hull. Explosions rippled along its side, and its lights flickered before dying completely. The alien vessel drifted, powerless, smoke and fire spilling into the cold of space. Gasps filled the bridge once more. Humanity had just disabled 2 enemy ships in minutes. Lewis spoke, his voice heavy with both pride and shock. We are one ship, Commander. One ship against their fleet. And we are winning. Ryan nodded, though his tone stayed firm. We will show strength, but we will not slaughter them. Aim to disable, not destroy. We prove our power, not our cruelty. Maya's console beeped with new signals. Commander, alien channels are active again. They are sending urgent messages to one another. Their leader is not pleased. On the screen, the alien commander, Thaler, appeared once more. His silver eyes burned with disbelief and anger. The translator worked, though the voice that emerged carried clear frustration. Impossible. No single ship can do this. What are you? Ryan stood tall, his voice steady. We are human. We warned you not to test us. We seek peace, but we are not weak. Do not mistake our patience for fear. The alien commander's face twisted in confusion. His ships had fired without hesitation, yet the human battleship endured and struck back with terrifying strength. The balance of power had shifted in mere moments. Ryan ended the transmission, turning back to his crew. Keep weapons ready. They may try again. Helen checked the shield readings. Shields holding strong. Their weapons cannot keep up with our defenses. Tom smirked slightly. Feels like they brought knives to a storm. Ryan did not smile. Do not grow overconfident. They still outnumber us. Respect the threat, even if they fear us now. Outside, the alien fleet pulled back slightly, no longer pressing forward. Their perfect discipline was broken, replaced by hesitation. 2 of their cruisers were gone from the fight, and the humans had not suffered any real damage. Lewis spoke quietly. This battle has already changed. They thought they could crush us. Now they know the truth. Ryan nodded. Yes. But the question remains. Will they accept that truth, or will they push further? The crew waited, every eye on the screen. The alien ships moved slowly now, as if deciding whether to retreat or strike again. Their leader faced a choice. Ryan's voice carried across the bridge. If they attack again, we will respond. But remember this, all of you. Humanity's strength is not just in weapons. It is in discipline, in unity, in refusing to surrender. That is what they must see. The crew straightened at his words. Whatever happened next, they knew their commander would lead them with resolve. The Valiant floated strong and steady, a lone battleship holding its ground against a fleet of unknown enemies. The first shots had been fired, and humanity had shown its hand. The aliens were stunned. And the war, if it truly came, would never be the same again. The alien fleet hung in silence for a moment after the railgun blasts crippled their cruisers. 2 vessels drifted powerless, sparks scattering into the void. For the first time, the aliens understood the might of a human battleship. But instead of retreating, they chose to fight harder. On the bridge of the Valiant, warning tones rang out again. Maya read the signals quickly. Commander, the rest of their fleet is regrouping. They are powering all weapons at once. Ryan leaned forward in his chair, his gaze steady on the screen. So they want to test us fully. Very well. All stations, prepare for a full engagement. The crew responded with swift precision. Helen boosted energy to shields, Lewis checked weapon systems, Tom adjusted the ship's position, and Maya kept a close eye on the enemy formation. Every crew member knew this was no longer a skirmish. It was a real battle, and it would decide how the aliens viewed humanity forever. Outside, the alien fleet spread into a wide arc. Beams of blue energy gathered on their hulls, brighter than before, forming a storm of light. At once, they unleashed their fury. Dozens of blasts streaked across space, striking the Valiant's shields with violent force. The battleship shook like a mountain under storm winds. Alarms screamed, and the bridge lights flickered. Helen's voice cut through the chaos. Shields at 70%. They are focusing everything on us. Ryan's tone stayed calm. Hold steady. Return fire, controlled bursts. Missiles on my mark. The railguns roared again, hurling molten metal faster than sight. 2 more enemy ships shuddered as the shots struck home, tearing into their armor. Explosions burst across alien hulls, and 1 vessel broke apart completely, scattering debris into the void. Then came the missiles. At Ryan's signal, the Valiant launched a spread of warheads that streaked across the battlefield. Trails of fire lit the darkness as the weapons cut through alien defenses. Some were destroyed by counter-fire, but others slammed into their targets. 1 alien ship vanished in a flash of flame, another spun wildly as its engines failed. On the bridge, the crew could hardly believe what they were seeing. 5 enemy ships had been taken down or disabled, while the Valiant still stood strong. Lewis grinned tightly. We are tearing through them. They cannot match us. But Ryan raised a hand, his expression stern. Do not celebrate yet. They still fight. Respect them. The remaining alien ships launched a counter-strike. Dozens of smaller drones detached from their cruisers, swarming toward the Valiant like a cloud of wasps. Each drone carried weapons that fired rapid bursts of energy. The shields sparked again and again under the endless rain. Tom maneuvered quickly, spinning the massive battleship just enough to spread the fire across its shields. "They are trying to overwhelm us." Ryan gave a sharp order. "Point defense systems. Take them out." Small turrets lit up across the Valiant's hull, spitting streams of fire. The drones exploded one by one, flashes of light dotting the black void. Still, many pressed closer. The bridge shook as a few slammed against the shields, but the barrier held. Helen called out over the noise. "Shields at 60%. Still stable." Ryan stood firm. "Keep the pressure. Show them we cannot be broken." The railguns fired again, smashing another alien cruiser. The remaining enemy vessels faltered, their formation breaking apart. Their once perfect lines were shattered, replaced by chaos and desperation. Maya spoke quickly. "Commander, I am reading panic in their signals. They are struggling to maintain order." On the main screen, the alien commander Thaler appeared again. His silver eyes burned with disbelief, his voice rough and filled with anger. The translator spoke his words. "This is not possible. No single ship should withstand us. What kind of race builds such a monster?" Ryan looked directly at him, his voice steady and cold. "A race that refuses to kneel. We are human. And we are not weak." The channel cut. Thaler's face vanished, but his fleet's hesitation was clear. They had unleashed their strongest attacks, and still the human battleship stood. Lewis turned toward Ryan. "They cannot win. They must see it now." Ryan's gaze remained sharp. "Maybe. But some leaders will burn their fleets before they admit defeat. Stay ready." The enemy tried one last desperate strike. Their two largest ships gathered all their energy, combining it into a massive beam aimed directly at the Valiant. The light grew brighter and brighter, until it shone like a false Sunday impact in 5 seconds, Maya warned. The crew braced themselves as the giant blast tore across the void. It struck the shields with earth-shaking force, rocking the ship harder than ever before. Consoles flickered, alarms blared, and the entire vessel groaned under the stress. Helen shouted, "Shields at 40%. Still holding." Ryan's voice was calm, even in the storm. "Return fire. Full railgun barrage." The Valiant unleashed its might. All main cannons fired at once, a thunder of metal and light. The barrage slammed into one of the alien command ships, ripping it apart in a chain of explosions. The other staggered, its hull burning, before retreating into the shadows. Silence fell across the battlefield. The swarm was destroyed, their cruisers broken, their leader's flagship in flames. The human battleship floated steady, scarred but unbeaten. The battle had turned. Humanity's power was clear. On the bridge, Ryan's voice echoed strong. "They know now. One ship stood against their fleet. And we did not fall." The battlefield was quiet now. Fragments of broken alien ships drifted slowly, glowing faintly in the darkness. Fires flickered and died in the cold of space, leaving nothing but wreckage. The Valiant floated in the center, its shields still strong, its weapons ready. On the bridge, the crew watched the screen in silence. They had survived the worst, but none of them felt like celebrating. This was not victory yet. The enemy still lived, and their commander had not yielded. Maya broke the silence. "Commander, the remaining alien ships are holding position. They are not advancing. They are not retreating either." Lewis leaned forward, his voice low. "They do not know what to do. We broke their fleet, but their leader still resists." Ryan nodded slowly. "Then it is time to speak again. Open a channel." The screen flickered, and the alien commander appeared. Thaler's silver eyes burned with anger and disbelief. His face was tight, his voice a harsh vibration. The translator shaped the words. You should not exist. No world should build such a vessel. One ship cannot destroy fleets. It is unnatural. Ryan stood tall, his voice calm but firm. It is not unnatural. It is human. We build to survive. We fight when we must. And when we fight, we endure. Thaler's expression twisted, a mix of rage and frustration. You destroyed my ships. You crippled my warriors. Yet you claim you seek peace. Do you mock us? Ryan shook his head. No. We warned you. We held back. Every shot we fired was to disable, not to destroy. If we wanted to end you, we could have. But we did not. That is not mockery. That is mercy. The alien commander fell silent. For a long moment, no words passed between them. The crew of the Valiant watched, waiting. Finally, Thaler spoke again, his voice quieter than before. We thought you were nothing. A young race. Weak, untested. We were wrong. You are, dangerous. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Dangerous when attacked, yes. But humanity does not seek endless war. We want to explore. We want to learn. You fired first, Commander Thaler. Remember that. Lewis glanced at Ryan, whispering, you are pressing him hard. Ryan answered without turning his head. He must hear the truth. The alien commander leaned forward, his silver eyes shining. If I allow you to live, your kind will spread further. Your kind will bring more ships, more weapons. How long before your people turn their eyes to our worlds? Ryan answered without hesitation. That depends on you. Meet us as enemies, and we will fight. Meet us as allies, and we will grow together. The choice is yours. The translator repeated his words, each one clear, each one heavy. Silence filled the screen again. Thaler seemed to struggle. His pride battled with his fear, his anger with his reason. He had lost ships, he had lost warriors, and yet the human battleship stood untouched. To strike again would be suicide. To retreat would mean admitting weakness. Maya whispered softly, he is torn. Ryan folded his arms. Let him decide. We will not push further. Time passed slowly. The alien fleet held its ground, but no new attack came. Instead, signals flickered across their ships, messages Ryan's crew could not understand. They were debating, perhaps even arguing. Finally, Thaler spoke again. You will leave this system. If you remain, more blood will spill. But, he hesitated, the word heavy with meaning. We will not follow you this time. Go, and carry your strength back to your worlds. Ryan inclined his head slightly. If we leave, it is not because we fear you. It is because we choose restraint. Tell your people this, humanity is not prey. We are not weak. If you respect us, we can respect you. The alien's face hardened again, but his voice lacked the certainty it once carried. I will remember your words. The image vanished. The bridge of the Valiant exhaled together. The crew looked to Ryan. Lewis spoke first. Commander, he did not surrender, but he backed down. Ryan nodded. That is enough for now. This was not about conquest. It was about first contact. And they learned what we are capable of. Helen checked her readings. Shields at 40%. Weapons still ready. Engine steady. We can leave whenever you order. Ryan looked out at the wreckage on the screen, his voice quiet but firm. Plot a course home. Our message has been delivered. The galaxy knows now that humanity has arrived. As the ship turned, the alien fleet remained behind, wounded but alive. They did not pursue. They only watched, their silver-eyed commander silent. The Valiant moved through the stars, scarred but unbeaten. For the crew, it felt less like retreat and more like triumph. They had faced the unknown and survived. They had stood against a fleet and held their ground. Ryan spoke one last time to his crew before they entered jump space. Remember this day. History will not forget it. The first meeting was not peace, but it was not defeat. Humanity stood tall, and the stars will remember. The jump engines roared, and the battleship vanished into the void, leaving behind a fleet of stunned aliens who now understood the truth. The Valiant returned to human space after weeks of travel. The crew carried both scars and pride from the encounter. No one spoke much during the final stretch, but deep inside, they all knew they had changed history. The ship itself was a symbol now. Humanity's strength had been revealed not only to the aliens, but also to their own people. When the battleship entered orbit around Earth, signals rushed to greet them. Messages came from every colony, every outpost, every station. People wanted to know what had happened beyond the edge of their maps. The crew stood ready to report, but Ryan knew the truth would be heavier than simple numbers or facts. In the main hall of Earth Command, the leaders gathered. Ryan and his officers walked into the chamber together. Faces turned, whispers filled the air. The commander stood before the council, his uniform neat but marked by long hours and hard battles. The council leader spoke first. "Commander Ryan, your ship was sent to explore. Instead, you faced war. Tell us why the alien fleet attacked." Ryan's voice was steady. "Because they did not understand us. They saw a new race in their space and thought we were weak. They wanted to test us. They wanted to show we did not belong. But they were wrong." The chamber grew quiet. Ryan continued. "They had more ships, more numbers. We had one battleship. Yet we stood, we fought, and we endured. And when we had the chance to destroy them completely, we chose mercy. That is humanity's true strength." The leaders looked at each other. Some seemed proud, others worried. One of them asked, "So you believe peace is possible with them?" Ryan nodded. "Yes. But only if they respect us. And now they do. They will not forget what they saw. Neither will we." Beside him, Lewis added, "It was not just a battle. It was a message. The galaxy knows humanity will not kneel." Maya stepped forward. "And we must be ready. They may return with more fleets. Others may come too. What we showed them today will echo far. Some will see us as allies, others as rivals. We cannot hide anymore. We are part of the wider galaxy now." The council sat in silence for a long moment. Finally, the leader said, "Then we must prepare. Humanity has stepped into a larger stage. Your mission has changed our place in the stars." The meeting ended, but the story of the Valiant spread quickly. Across the colonies, people told the tale of the single battleship that faced an alien fleet and stood unbroken. Songs were written, murals painted, children spoke the names of the crew with admiration. Humanity had found pride in the courage of its explorers. But far away, in alien space, the story spread as well. Thaler, the silver-eyed commander, reported to his own council. His words were bitter, yet filled with caution. "They should have been crushed. Instead, they crushed us. They carry weapons and defenses beyond reason. But worse, they carry will. They fight not as prey, but as predators who protect their own. If we face them again, we must not underestimate them." Some of his leaders wanted revenge, but others felt fear. The debate raged. Should they strike again, or should they hold back? For the first time in centuries, the alien empire hesitated. Humanity had forced them to pause. Back on Earth, Ryan stood with his crew on the deck of the Valiant. They looked out at the planet below, blue and alive. Helen broke the silence. "Do you think they will come back?" Ryan answered quietly. "Yes. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. The galaxy does not forget strength. But when they return, we will be stronger too. Lewis smiled faintly. Then we'll be ready. Maya looked at the stars. What matters is that we did not hide. We went out there, and we showed them who we are. Humanity belongs among the stars. The crew stood together, their ship shining in orbit. They had faced fear, war, and the unknown. They had given humanity its first true step into galactic history. Ryan placed his hand on the railing, his voice firm. This is only the beginning. The galaxy will test us again and again. But now they know. Humanity will never back down. The others nodded. Each of them felt the same fire inside. They were no longer just explorers or soldiers. They were the first defenders of humanity's future. As the sun rose over Earth, light bathed the battleship's hull. The Valiant had earned its name. It was more than a vessel of steel. It was a symbol of unity, courage, and hope. And across the stars, where alien ships floated in silence, commanders and warriors remembered the day a single human battleship had stood against them. They remembered the mercy shown, the warning given, and the strength displayed. The legacy of first contact was written not in peace or war alone, but in respect. Humanity had entered the stage of the galaxy with fire in its heart and steel at its side. And the story of the Valiant was only the first chapter.